July 3, 2023, Israel launched one of its most extensive operations in Jenin in years, killed 12 Palestinians and more than 120 are injured. In this video, I will tell you about the recent Israeli attacks on Jenin, a Palestinian city in the occupied West Bank. Jenin is located in the northern part of the West Bank, near the border with Israel. It has a population of about 40,000 people, of which about 18,000 lived in Jenin refugee camp, which was established in 1953 for Palestinians during the 1948 Arab-Israel War. The camp is one of the most densely populated and impoverished area in the West Bank and has been under Israeli military occupation since 1967. It is a home to many Palestinian fighters from various factions such as Fatah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. These groups have carried out numerous attacks against Israeli targets over the years, both Israel and in the West Bank. Israel has also conducted frequent raids and incursions into Jenin and its refugee camp in an attempt to arrest or kill suspected militants, confiscate weapons and explosives, and prevent future attacks. These operations have often resulted in clashes with local residents and fighters, as well as civilian casualties and property damage. Since then, Jenin has remained a hotspot of tension and violence between Israel and the Palestinians. In recent months, there has been a surge of attacks by Palestinian gunmen from Jenin against Israeli soldiers. In October 2022, Israel killed 4 Palestinians in 2 separate incidents in Jenin. One was shot dead after allegedly throwing an explosive device at Israeli forces. Another was killed by an Israeli drone strike, and 2 others were killed by undercover Israeli agents who infiltrated their car. These events have led to a cycle of escalation and retaliation between Israel and the Palestinians in Jenin. The local population has expressed its anger and frustration with the Israeli occupation and its policies by staging protests, throwing stones and Molotov cocktails at Israeli soldiers, burning tires and blocking roads. This brings us to what happened on Monday, July 3, 2023, when Israel launched one of its most extensive operations in Jenin in years. According to the Israeli military statement, the operation was named Operation Home and Garden, and its goal was to target militants within the camp who were responsible for planning and carrying out attacks against Israelis. The statement said that Israel struck a joint operation center used by militants from a group known as Jenin Brigade, which is composed of fighters from different factions who cooperate with each other. The statement also said that Israel targeted a facility for weapons production and explosive device storage, as well as a coordination and communication hub for Palestinian fighters. The operation began with drone strikes early on Monday morning, followed by a ground invasion by dozens of Israeli armed vehicles and hundreds of soldiers. The Israeli forces surrounded the camp and exchanged fire with the Palestinian fighters who tried to repel them. The clashes lasted for more than 20 hours and were described by witnesses as intense and unprecedented. Palestinian Health Ministry said that 9 Palestinians were killed and 100 injured as a result of the Israeli operation. Among the dead were 6 members of the Jenin Brigade, including its leader Jamal Abu al-Haja, who was the son of a senior Hamas commander who were killed by Israel in 2007. The Palestinian Red Crescent said that its crews had evacuated 30,000 people from the camp, including patients and the elders who were trapped in their homes or shelters by the Israeli fire. It's also said that dozens of people had been detained by Israeli forces in their homes since early Monday without being provided or allowed any food or drink. The Red Crescent also reported that its ambulance and staff were attacked and prevented from reaching the injured by the Israeli forces. The Hamas movement, which controls the Gaza Strip and is considered a terrorist organization by Israel and many Western countries, praised the Jenin Bridge for its heroic resistance and warned Israel of a painful response for its aggression. It's also called on all Palestinians to unite and join the armed struggle against the Israeli occupation. Other Palestinian factions such as Islamic Jihad, Fatah, and the Popular Front of the Liberation of Palestine also issued statements condemning Israel's operation and expressing their support for Jenin. They urged the international community to intervene and stop Israel's crimes against the Palestinian people. Israel's allies such as the United States and some European countries expressed their support for Israel's right to defend itself against terrorism, but also urged it to exercise restraint and avoid civilian casualties. They also called for calm and dialogue between Israel and Palestinians to resume peace and negotiation. Some human rights groups and activists criticized Israel's operation as disproportionate, excessive, and indiscriminate. They said that Israel violated international humanitarian law by using lethal force against against civilians, destroying homes and infrastructure, blocking humanitarian access, and detaining people without due process. He also said that Israel's operation did not address the root causes of the conflict, such as occupation, settlement expansion, land confiscation, movement restriction, and human rights violation. So, what are the implications of the consequences of Israel's operation in Jenin? Well, it's too early to tell for sure, but here are some possible scenarios. One scenario is that Israel's operation will deter or weaken Jenin military from carrying out more attacks against Israel in the near future. This could reduce the level of violence and tension in the West Bank and create an opportunity for dialogue and de-escalation between Israel and the Palestinians. Another scenario is that Israel's operation will provoke or embolden Jenin's military to carry out more attacks against Israelis in retaliation for their losses. This could increase the level of violence and tension in the West Bank and lead to further escalation and confrontation between Israel and the Palestinians. Third scenario is that Israel's operation will have little or no effect on Jenin's militants' ability or willingness to carry out more attacks against Israelis. This could maintain the status of violence and tensions in the West Bank and prevent any progress or breakthrough in the resolving the conflict. In any case, Israel's operation in Jenin has once again highlighted the complexity and urgency of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which has been going on for more than 7 decades and has claimed thousands of lives and caused immense suffering and injustice on both sides. It has also shown the need of the political solution that can end occupation, ensure the security rights of both people, and establish a lasting and just peace in the region.